Okay, so in this video, I'm going to run through an example of how you can use Google Sheets to make a budget, and in doing so, cover some of the basics of Google Sheets. So to start off with, I'm going to go up to this top left-hand corner here and just create a new Google Sheets. Okay, so it's taken a couple of seconds to load there, but I've now got my new sheet, my new blank sheet. I'm going to give it a name, so straight at the top, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to call this budget. If I click away, it will automatically save. So in the introductory video, I said that you can click on these cells with your left click and you can type in any value that you like. So that can be numbers or it can be letters. And for this exercise, we're going to make a budget to go to, say, an amusement park for a family. And this will show you some of the features of Google Sheets. So let's think then, if we were going for a trip, a family trip, we're going to do it with, going to just put this up here as a reminder that we've got 3 adults in the trip and we're going to have 2 children. Okay, so on the top, when you're making a budget or you're making something to record something, it's good to have headers at the top. So at the top here, we're going to have item. So this could be like a ticket or some food, anything that's going to have a cost. We're going to have the price of that item, and then we're going to have the quantity of that item. And then finally, in this final column, I'm going to put the item total. Now this will make a little bit more sense when we actually start writing some of these things in. So yeah, in this example, we're going to make a budget and sort of use it as a way to estimate how much this trip is going to cost. So the first thing might be we'll have an adult train ticket. We've got a children's train ticket. We'd have the cost of the theme park admission. So again, they might have different ones for adults. So we could have adult theme park ticket. And can you see here, if there's not enough room, you can just left click on this borderline between the D and the E to move it across like that. And then we could have children, or just put child, theme park ticket. And let's try and think of some other things that could cost you on the day. So we could have maybe ice creams, we could have lunch costs, could have an allowance for the children to go and buy something for the gift shop or something like that. And then we could put dinner in there as well. Okay, so these are going to be all the different items, all the different parts of the budget. Next, we can put the price in for each one of these items. So I'm going to just use estimates here. Let's just say the train ticket is £15 for an adult. And here's something to note is that if you're just typing in the number, it will come out as 15, which is fine normally. But as we're using price, we want to have this in pounds. So if you do a left click on the cell and move up to the top here, you can use it as format as currency over here. Now note that it's put it into dollars because it's expecting us to be American, because Google is I think mainly Americans use Google Sheets. So what we can actually do is we can change the settings so that it recognizes that we're British. So we go to File, Spreadsheet Settings, and when we change it to United Kingdom. Okay, so it's File, Spreadsheet Settings, United Kingdom, Save Settings, and now, hopefully, when it's updated. Okay, so now it's changed it to pounds. Okay, so we can select the cell and click, and now it's formatted as pounds. So it's a good thing to do. Just check that you've got it in the settings for United Kingdom. So let's say it's £15 for the adults. Let's say it's £8 for the children. Doing the same again, we can format it like that. I'm just going to show you something actually, is that let's put in these values here for the theme parks first. So let's say it's £20 for an adult, let's say it's £10 for a child, let's say the ice creams are £2 each, the lunch at £5 each, the gift allowances, let's say the children have £5 to spend in the gift shop or something like that, and then dinner is £7 each. Okay, so for these top two, I've done left click on that cell and then up straight format as currency. But if you've got multiple ones you want to do at the same time, left click on this 20 here and drag your mouse down so you can see this blue coming down. That means they're all selected. Then when you click format as currency, it now comes out as pounds. Okay. Next thing to look at is the quantity. So we said we've got 3 adults, so there's going to be 3 adult train tickets. There's going to be 2 children's, same again for theme park, children's. Let's say everyone has ice creams, everyone has lunch, only the children have the allowance, and everyone's going to have dinner. Okay, so up until now, this has just been an exercise of putting in values. I'm now going to show you how you can actually use the function of the spreadsheet, which is that you can do calculations. So for this case, it's going to be really simple. We're going to do the price times the quantity. So there's 3 people buying adult train tickets, so we're going to times 15 by 3. And you can do this automatically using what's called a formula. So I'll show you how to do this. If you double left click into the cell, then you press the equals sign, then you select the things that you want to multiply. So you do a left click on here where it says 15, and you can see here that it's come up with this thing where it says E4, and that's because it's the cell reference. Okay, so we talked about this in the first video. E, look down, 4. So it's like in battleships, E4, the coordinates for this cell, E4. To do multiply, the sign for multiply in Excel and in Google Sheets is the asterisk. So you hold down Shift and 8 to get that asterisk sign, and then you click on the next one here, 3, F. So this one's F4. So it's E4 times F4. If I press enter, it will now do that multiplication for me. We're just going to repeat that for the one below. So the same thing, equals, you start every formula with equals, then select this one with the left click, asterisk because we're multiplying, and then select the next one across and enter. So 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 15 is 45. Now the cool thing about Sheets and Excel as well is that it can predict, it can work out what you're trying to do. If you do a couple of calculations, it will work out that what we're doing is multiplying this column by this column. So if you drag your mouse down, select these 2 here, and you can see this square, this little square in the right hand corner. If we drag that down, it automatically completes it for the rest of our little table. And to check that it's done correctly, if you double left click in one of these here, you can see it's doing E9, which is this one, multiplied by F9, which is this one. Same over here, it's doing this column multiplied this column. Great, so now we've got the totals for each item. Already you can see it's going to be quite an expensive trip. But we might want to know what the total is, the total if you like, for all of them. So if I type in here total, and in this cell we're going to have the total of all of these. And in Google Sheets there's a quick way to do this. So you can just click on this button here. Can you see it's got this sort of weird E looking type thing, sort of Greek letter. If you type on that, click on that and click sum. Sum is the one that you use to add everything up. So you click on the sum, and then you can just left click and select all of these here, and then it will add everything together. I'll go through that once more. So there we go, we've got it all added up together. Let's just repeat that again. So if I clear this now, if I undo that, click on the cell that you want the total, click up the top here where it says functions, then click on Sum, then select all of the ones that you want to add up, and then press enter, and it's added it up. So you can see that this trip away for these 5 people is going to cost £221. The good thing with the Google Sheets is that if you think, oh, I made a mistake, actually I thought the adult train ticket was going to be £15, but it's actually £17, you can just update it. And you see there it's updated the item total and it's updated the overall total. And this is because with the formulas, it's saying I'm going to multiply whatever's in this cell by whatever's in this cell. So you can change the values as you go. So it's really helpful for budgeting when you make the initial budget and then you realize there's extra things to add, or that you've got something wrong, you can change it as you go. So you can add in extra items if you want. I'm now going to just go for a really quick formatting thing. So to make this sort of stand out a little bit more, is we can select this top row and we can make it bold, and we can maybe make it a larger font size as well, just to make it stand out a little bit more as a total. So that's a really quick way to make a budget, and it's a simple way to use Google Sheets. And in further videos, you can find out how to use some of the other features. But have a go yourself. Have a practice creating a budget for something. It could be a shopping list. It could be for a trip out. It could be for anything really. But yeah, just practice using these multiplying and adding as well. Okay.